Welcome, my beautiful Pisces. This is going to be your August 2024 tarot reading, intuitive tarot reading. Um, this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided. I connect through my spirit guides, and my spirit guides connect to yours. I know not everyone likes it when I say that, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth, at least at my table, our table. Um, and what I mean by that is more and more often people are being nudged to like readings where, they don't even know if they have Pisces in their chart. Chances are you do. Um, chances are. But whatever brought you, I say welcome. You may be in love with the Pisces, so lovable. And I know some people are going to be like, well, not all Pisces. Well, that's with all signs. It really depends on like our upbringing and our experiences. But, deep down, such a loving soul. Um, I feel like this month for you, Pisces, is going to be very, very intuitive. You're already an intuitive sign, but I feel like your intuition is really going to be on fire. So definitely pay attention to the signs. And in this reading, or all of the readings, you can certainly ask your spirit guides to send you signs of confirmation. You know, is this reading for me, or certain messages for me? They'll answer. They'll answer in some way. And again, you can have me say a name, a number, a flower, anything. A situation that relates to your situation, whatever it may be. Just trust, and then kind of just let go and go with the flow. You could certainly. I think I might already said this, be in love with the Pisces, platonically, romantically. And if that's the case, again, your spirit guides know you're here. So they will send messages to you. I feel like readings will find you in divine timing. And what does divine timing mean? To me, it's right when you need it. You may have been questioning something, and maybe your guides have been sending you signs, but for whatever reason, you're missing them, which many of us do. Something I've learned through my spiritual journey is really how to see the signs, pay attention to the signs. A lot of times I'll see patterns. I feel like that's the way they want me to read. Um, anyways, I just want to say welcome. A very intuitive month for you. This is also, I feel like, a great time for relationships. Though I do want to remind you, Mercury is going into retrograde on the 4th. And, so you definitely want to think about what you're saying before you're saying it, especially if it's like, something you cannot take back, you know, because I feel like words stick around. Like words, sometimes we take them on and then we may be, wishing we didn't say something. So just keep that in mind, or someone may communicate something to you that just doesn't feel right. Understand that's what can happen with Mercury in retrograde. It can also affect electronics, many different things. So, other than that, I really feel like this is going to be a good month for you. I feel like romance is, I have a feeling it's going to be on the table. But those in existing relationships, I feel like it may give you an opportunity to heal, to heal them if that's what you so choose. But I just feel like romance is in the air for you, but we'll see. We'll go to the cards. We're going to use three different decks, Pisces. We're going to use Mother Mary for her beautiful words of wisdom. I keep thinking like I got to get more oracle decks, but I just love Mother Mary so much that it's like, why would I want to replace it? For some of you might be getting tired of it. That's the only reason I would use something else. I'd probably still keep her in the reading, but I'm going to use it at the end of the reading because I feel like I feel like the messages from Mother Mary always relate back to the reading. And I feel like it gives us that like that cherry on top. You know what I mean? That cherry on top. So Mother Mary, we are going to use the Tridivia Tarot to do your clarifying or to go deeper, like I like to say. August, the readings have been long. I mean, I don't think anyone's reading, and I think you're the seventh sign that I'm doing. I don't think anyone's reading has been less than an hour and a half. But, I put no limit on it. Like, whatever time it needs, I'm more than happy to give it that time. So go deeper with the Tridivia Tarot. And for your main spread, I'm going to use the Light Seers. I definitely love this deck for you. I have a feeling those who are readers, you probably already have this deck. I just do. I love this deck for you. So, with all that being said, I know some people timestamp like when the reading actually starts, though I have to tell you, I think the reading starts as soon as I hit record. But I get it. I do understand that. All right. So, a couple shuffles. Everything is always pre shuffled. Those who've been with me know that. Anyone who's new, welcome to our soul family. So happy to have you. All right. Let's give them a cut. And I'm going to bring the lid down. There we go. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Okay. Let's begin. Hmm. Eight of Cups. Interesting. First card. I often feel like the first card is what's like leaving, the energy that is ready to go. And to me, the Eight of Cups would be perfect, especially since I really felt like, like romance is going to be in the air and your intuition's going to be on fire. This is someone who really has taken the time to like look within their emotional house, find emotional clarity. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the cups that have previously been knocked over, relationships that didn't work out. And maybe, I didn't have clarity over that. Sometimes I feel like it's not about looking at every cup, right? Because if we look back just at our life and think about different relationships we've been in, and you think about the ending of a relationship, it's like, but I love that person so much. And then time moves and then you find someone else. And then you're like, okay, now I get it. This is really my love. Um, Number eight. So it is about a new beginning. And this person is heading towards the Nine of Cups. So really finding inner harmony due to the willingness to look within that emotional house. You know, um, in some decks, they call it emotional withdrawal. And I don't really like it being called that because I do feel like, first of all, I feel like, yes, it's being bold enough to like really examine those cups. But really, I feel like I'm examining the cups really to learn about myself. Like how am I in love? If a relationship didn't work out, where was my own vibration? Was it even worth it in the long run? It's like the sun is peeking around the corner and she's heading right towards it. All right, let's keep going. Makes me feel like something new is opening up for you. Now, again, something new could have already opened up for you, and you're moving out of that Eight of Cups energy. Well, hello, Ace of Cups. Hello, love. Interesting. Even more important that we understand these previous cups to a point. Like, it's not about like spending years examining them because I feel like when we just look back, we can see the patterns within our own life. You know what I mean? Like I think, my first husband, I say first husband, I was only married once, but when I look back now, many, many years later, I can totally understand why it didn't work out. And, I just get it. So I definitely feel like this is saying that there is potentially a new love on the horizon. Now, let's say you're in an existing relationship and maybe, you've gone through some emotional turmoil. This again gives you the clarity you need. Sometimes I feel like, like I want to say don't sweat the small stuff. I have a feeling that was someone's confirmation. Like, don't sweat the small stuff. The Ace of Cups is unconditional love. It's true love. Does it promise us that this love will work out? Well, that's really up to us, right? It's up to our own vibration. I feel like in the Eight of Cups, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm raising my own vibration, right? I'm moving towards inner harmony. And, even though we don't have the Nine of Cups, that's where she's heading. And it really is a fulfillment of a wish. So let's keep going. For some of you, it's like that heart chakra is being activated. Maybe you don't expect it, but I feel, even if I don't expect it, I feel that you're ready for it. Why? Because you've done that you found that emotional clarity. And again, it's not about looking at every cup. Some cups just weren't meant to be. All right, with the King of Wands, can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Um, doesn't have to be though. I want you to understand that. King of Wands to me is someone who is action oriented, definitely carries passion in their heart. I feel like this would be someone that would put actions behind their words also. Sometimes we get kind of stuck with people who, and listen, I'm a Virgo and I'm your opposite sign. And Virgos can certainly have a difficult time like expressing their emotions. Um, but I feel like that's part of the lessons that we learned. That's why you definitely want to look at your opposite house, because I feel like Pisces helps open up the emotional side of me. So I definitely feel like this is someone who, I'm just looking also, he's got this flame lit on his wand. He's looking right at me, like right at me. To me, it feels like it's about present moment energy. Okay, well, a lot came out, but we're gonna take them. We have the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is mirroring that Eight of Cups. And when I see the Ten of Swords, the first thing I think of is probably a repeat pattern. I may have taken a lot of daggers in my back, hoping that something would work out. And, in the Ten of Swords, I don't feel like it does. I could have even taken like some, let's just say, I want to say abuse, but I feel like you're like someone who verbally um puts me down. And I find it interesting because, like again, sorry, I don't know why I keep bringing up my husband, my ex-husband, um, but it's like as soon as I found clarity over, well, let's put it this way. He is who he is. He still is who he is. And I kind of feel like karma has found him. Karma has been paying him back for his own actions. Um, he started cheating like immediately, but I also became pregnant, so I stuck it out for a while. But when we broke up, then he fell in love with another woman, and that woman ended up cheating on him. So what he did to me, the person that he fell in love with did to him. That's karma. That's karma. So, and the only reason I'm saying that is because I feel like it could certainly talk about a repeat pattern. But now that you have emotional clarity, I feel like no more daggers in the back. No more daggers in the back. All right, let's keep going. Five of Pentacles. So, someone could have broke something off, and it may not be what you expected, may have been not what you wanted. Five of Pentacles can feel like a tower moment. If you just look at the image, here's this woman, right? And she's got her head down. She's thinking about the things that she's lost, person that she's lost. But it's not the end for her. It is a five, so it's change. Sometimes we want this change, and sometimes we don't. But I feel like it's probably the best thing. Here's a key that literally unlocks the next door. It's just about picking ourselves back up, understanding that some changes happen against our will. But I do feel like in the long run, we'll look back and be like, well, thank God that happened because I feel like eventually she gets up, finds that key, unlocks the next door, and because it's coming under the Eight of Cups, moves on, right? Finds that emotional clarity. I feel like, yes, it's a period of sadness, but in reality, if we allow ourselves to really understand it, we may say to ourselves, well, wait a minute, this person wasn't treating me right anyway, right? Why am I crying tears over someone who just kept putting daggers in my back? I definitely feel like it's about learning that lesson. And sometimes in the Ten of Swords, it can mean that, I could have stayed at the party too long, so to speak. All right. Nine of Swords. Well, that makes sense. Nine of Swords is definitely about worry. You know, I was just going to say, it looks like she's got a dark cloud over her. Well, what is she worrying about? Well, love coming under the Ace of Cups. Will everyone be like that person? The answer is no. However, I do, in the same breath, want to say I do need to think about my own vibration because I want you to think about the law of attraction. The universe must meet you right where you're at. And the meaning of the card is unnecessary worry. Even more reasons to make sure that, I have my emotional house as cleared as possible. Unnecessary worry. I don't want to fall in love with someone and have my heart broken again. That's why you want to think about your own vibration. We have the Emperor. Okay. Well, first of all, the Emperor is a card of Aries. However, the Emperor's energy is someone that we can really look up to. This is someone like I feel like if I'm looking for someone, if I want to fall in love, if I want love in my life, then I want it to be with someone that I can respect, that I can look up to. I feel like the Emperor is very wise, um, you know, but human, but very wise. This can also talk about someone who could be a little bit older than you. Doesn't have to be. Um, But I do feel like the Emperor is on a high vibrational energy, though still human. Like, I want to remind you, like, still can act like we're spiritual beings having human experiences, but also human adventures, and really allowing ourselves to have those adventures. So I feel like this Ace of Cups, it's going to happen no matter what. It's just how I react to it. And I feel like this is giving you a little bit of comfort, knowing that, I feel like this is someone who's not only book smart, but spiritually in tuned. Doesn't mean I go around talking about my spirituality all the time, but it is part of their life. This is someone who does care about their fellow man. I feel like, let's say we meet someone new and we go on a date with them. What I would do and what I have done is pay attention to how they treat other people. Let's say that someone is, let's just say you go out to a restaurant and, your waiter or your waitress, let's say they make a mistake. Well, how do they treat that person? Do they try to, like, do they yell at them? Do they say, well, I'm not going to leave that person a tip? Instead of realizing that, hey, we all make mistakes. So, really, I feel like maybe giving yourself time as this love starts to open up. And because I feel like people will always reveal to you who they are. The problem sometimes is we want to move things too quickly. Now, that is your choice, that is free will. But because of the energy I feel like some of you have been dealing with, it may say, like, take it slow. Enjoy the beginning of a relationship. What do they call that? The honeymoon period. But why skip past it, right? But I feel like it's also to help you, understand who this person is. No way do I feel like it's the same person of the Ten of Swords, because I feel like that's energy you're clearing. And, our humanness would certainly relate to the Nine of Swords. I could certainly have clarity. Maybe I understand that some of these situations there was nothing I could do about. They just were who they were. I feel like in the Ten of Swords many times is like narcissistic type energy, right? They keep putting the daggers in my back. Though this person, it's like she's walking away from that. A lot of times you'll see this image with someone like in submission, just laying there, taking sword after sword after sword. She's walking away. She's saying, I've had enough, right? Like, I'm not going to give you any more of my time. Someone could have been a very bad communicator. And Pisces, I know that, like, I can't imagine you being with someone who purposely holds back their emotions, who purposely holds back their love. So that tells me there may be some valuable lessons you learned through that. And if you can look at it in that way versus like, man, why do I keep getting these daggers? Maybe because I expect them. Maybe I've been trying to find my own self worth. And this person's definitely teaching me that, through difficult lessons. So I feel like you definitely ended that chapter. And I feel like this Ace of Cups is definitely connected to not just the King of Wands, but also the Emperor. And I'm not even thinking about their signs. I'm thinking about their energy. So the King of Wands, I put actions behind my words. I don't just say I love you, I show you I love you. The Emperor, I can look up to you. I feel like long conversations. I feel like the emperor would love to just like talk for hours on the phone or even in your living room, or at the restaurant. Like you go out on a date and you find yourselves there for hours just talking. It feels very good. Some difficult cards before that, but it definitely feels like that chapter is closing or has closed. I'm hoping it has closed for the majority of you. But, if you're still kind of in it, it's showing you. And I feel like the unlocking of this door means that, first of all, I'm forgiving myself. And what do I mean by that? Why do I need to forgive myself when other people put daggers in my back? Well, I may say to myself, like, what was wrong with me? Mm-mm. No, that's just life, right? And again, there may have been some lessons you were learning. But now I feel like there's some fear regarding love. And that's why I'm saying allow someone to reveal to you who they are. You know, if someone, like, let's say again, you were with someone who their only words were like negative, you know, putting you down, made them feel powerful. Well, that's a false sense of power. To me, it's the type of person that's like, doesn't want to see you happy, but certainly is not going to try to make you happy at the same time. So, the more we clear that energy, I feel like the more our heart is open. And again, I do feel like your heart chakra is being activated. Okay, let's keep going. Well, there you go. The tower under the Ten of Swords. The tower is also mirroring the Five of Pentacles, where I often feel, sometimes we give the tower out, and sometimes the tower is given to us. But listen, the tower was needed, especially because of the Ten of Swords. It's interesting how the Emperor's looking over the tower, almost like someone who can help you overcome like those last broken pieces. Probably has been there themselves. I feel like the Empress and the Emperor have lived a lot of life. Even, it doesn't matter the age, like, have had a lot of experiences. And what they learned is I'm not going to allow past energy to be the predictor of my present energy nor my future. So the tower, you know, and it's funny, I've been feeling this a lot for August, where I feel like many of us are going to be like, thank God for that tower. I know that, it took me some time in different relationships where the tower did happen to understand. I mean, I think about where I'm at right now and who I'm with, and I thank God for that. But it never would have happened if, I didn't ultimately either receive the tower or give the tower. To me, the tower does mean endings. It can certainly mean someone's fallen from grace. I don't feel like it's you. And I feel like interesting how I'm thinking of like Alice in Wonderland for some reason. Like Alice falling through that hole, but what does she ultimately find herself? Her truth. All right, let's keep going. The magician, the manifester. And look what the magician's doing. This feels like the Ace of Cups right here. And the magician is pouring his or her loving energy to this Ace of Cups. I feel like this is talking about you and your ability to manifest, but manifesting in the present moment. Another way of saying that is it's what intentions am I putting out to the universe? Because again, the law of attraction, that's what's going to meet me. But because I feel like many of you have really grown, learned. Now you're manifesting. And it's interesting. I'm not trying to make this a love reading, but it's definitely a love reading right now. But this is also, it's not just manifesting of love. It's how do you want your life to be? How do you see your life? And what would you like to manifest into it? And then being proactive in it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're working hand in hand with divine. The magician's also the fool's greatest mentor. And because I feel like many of you, it's like you are closing a chapter, whether I asked for it or not, but it feels like in the long run, you're going to understand why it's really working in your favor. So anyways, that's why I feel like, you know, once we move out of that energy, then we do take on the fool's energy. So the fool is about living in the present moment. It's interesting. I bet we'll get the fool. So anyway, it's about living in the present moment. The fool is about taking chances, right? I don't know how it's going to turn out. And the magician teaches the fool, you have everything you need to be successful in this next journey. You already possess it within. Trust in that. And I also feel like you can always change courses, but I don't feel like you're going to want to. Okay. I was going to flip out if the Fool was in my hand, but the Queen of Swords is in my hand. Can be at Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I really feel like this is someone who, first of all, her sword is down. She's not in like any type of aggressive energy. I feel like to me that means she's found her own voice, her own truth. And she definitely looks like she's just looking out to the future, like what lies out there. I feel like this definitely means that even though, worry is just part of the human condition, it is a man made energy. Um, Even if a little bit of worry may raise its ugly head, I feel like you won't let it stop you. This is someone who really can only live within truth, right? So if there's people around me who lie, who tell me lies, just so whatever the reason, like they don't get scolded, well, they're not my person. They're not my person. And I feel like she's not in an aggressive state. She really is just thinking about her future. She's following the magician. What can I manifest? Anything. Anything that I put my mind to. She's also marrying that Ace of Cups. It's like she's saying, I know there's going to be great love out there for me. And some of you, I feel like you've already found it. And that's why I always ask you to leave comments because if you get this, you know what I'm talking about. You've cleared this energy and you're now in the Queen of Swords energy, right? Manifesting your future, your present and your future. I don't want to leave out the present moment because that's where everything begins. That's where your signs are sent. That's the energy you want to manifest from. Her sword is down. She's not in any type of aggressive energy. It's like I found my voice, but I don't need to shout it. I know it within. All right, let's keep going. It's like he's carrying the lantern of the hermit. Interesting. So, again, this could certainly talk about an old soul. And you yourself may be an old soul. You may find someone who, first of all, I feel like this is talking about someone who will not judge you because of your past. Instead, they understand. And not only do they understand, I feel like they want to help you. They will help you. It's almost like, and chances are they've been through the same thing. Hmm. I don't always look up to the emperor, but in this reading, I do. I feel like some of you may be finding someone who could be very much like your father, the good parts of your father. Now, if your father wasn't like the greatest as it relates to love, then I don't feel that. Because again, I'm really feeling no negativity with this emperor, the Three of Pentacles. Well, love the Three of Pentacles as it relates to love. I love the Three of Pentacles, period, because it really speaks about your individuality. You are exactly who you're meant to be. You know, this can be the energy of just putting my head down and using my creative mind. I feel like our creative mind is really what sets us free. If I can't get over something, if I'm having a hard time overcoming something, what's some of the things I can do? Well, getting grounded is important. But I also feel like, if let's say you are a creative soul, I'm looking over at the guitar over there and I'm thinking, on bad days, picking up the guitar, writing a song. Interesting. I just replied to a comment where someone was starting a new business where they're making soaps at home. And, I said, if you sell them online, let us know, and we'll definitely help support support your business, your new adventure. This is also about other people admiring you for what you do. And I love that it's coming under the emperor. It's like someone who will see you for who you truly are. You strip away all the experiences that were difficult. Um, They just love you for who you are. And you them, by the way. This can also talk about someone who already admires you, but you just might not know it yet. Again, I got my head down. I'm doing my thing. It's funny. I feel like someone may be crocheting as they're watching this reading. Hmm. Interesting. This can definitely talk about also partnership, working with someone, and I feel like it would be the right person or the right people. But I feel like this is also saying you yourself are becoming more and more proud of who you are. I feel like someone in your life had tried to make you feel otherwise. Instead of making you feel proud of who you are, I feel like they put you down. But I want you to look at the source. You know what I mean? This is something I tell my daughter all the time. If someone's like has hurtful words, tells you you're not going to be good at something, look at them. Look at the source that it's coming from. And that better allows you not to take it on, right? Because I feel like the emperor is going to love you for exactly who you are and you them. And I also feel with this queen who is looking out towards the future, right? Um, You may find yourself like taking a class, like learning something new, and then just finding out that, wow, I'm really good at this. Giving yourself that chance to find out. I also feel, I know I'm saying also a lot, but I'm picking up a lot of messages this. I feel like there may be some things that you put on the back burner that maybe you've always wanted to do, and the time may just present itself. But I'm feeling like I may like take a class, or I'm really feeling like a class, but I'm learning something artistic. And lo and behold, there's my emperor in that class. Because don't forget, for some of you, I feel like someone admiring you already, but I don't feel like you know that. All right, let's keep going. It's like, I'm looking at the Three of Pentacles mirrored by this king, and the flame that's lit on his wand. It's like, and it's right next to the Ace of Cups. It's almost like someone falling for you before you even know that. It's kind of like divine putting the right person in front of you at the right time. I want to give a shout out to Sean. For some reason, you're on my mind. All right. Well, hello, beautiful Knight of Pentacles. This means blessings are heading your way. But when I say blessings, it's because of you also. This is perfect energy of working hand in hand with divine. Knight of Pentacles, it is patience. That's its first message. Knight of Pentacles tells you I come in the right time, not before, not after. Another reason to live in the present moment. I feel like this night is not just about one blessing. I feel like as I open up more and more to, receiving these blessings, these epiphanies, these ideas, and then putting them to use, I feel like more pentacles follow. Um, I often feel this is our guardian angel. But again, I come in the right time. What does that mean? Well, if I come before the right time, you may not accept this pentacle. You may not understand it. I feel like these pentacles come as seeds, and it's up to us, we'll receive the seed, but are we going to nurture that seed? Are we going to give it the sunlight it needs? And to me, that means the freedom it needs. Or do we just let it dry up and die? That's what would happen if it came too early. I come at the right time, and that you can trust in. Under that tower, it's taking the power away from the tower. All right, we got a few extra. We have the Five of Swords. So that tells me that there's been toxic energy around you. And, I'm just looking at him scratching his head, and it's like that raven is like whispering in his ear. It's reminding me of like, an angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. Which one am I gonna feed? You know, I feel like it's also saying, be careful, like with your own thoughts. Sometimes we can tell ourselves lies, especially if it's been drilled into us from someone of the past. It's a 5. It is toxic and it is asking for change. Like, do you want to stay in that energy? Because you don't have to. I do need to realize like what is toxic in my life. I feel like when I see a 5, it reminds me of like how we run in 9-year cycles. And, every 5th year or maybe every 5 months, I stop, I just look around, and I really start to realize like what's toxic to the life that I want to create for myself. Who's become toxic? Doesn't mean I can, let's say it's a family member. Sometimes I can't cut the ties, but I can certainly cut the energy. I don't have to take it on. You know, I don't have to take their false truths as my truth. And then look at this, it's followed by your major arcana, the moon. So you're showing up in your own reading, but it is showing you connected also to that 5 of Swords. It's interesting. Some of you may feel like that feeling of drowning, like, "Ah, am I ever going to find my way out?" The answer is yes. But you do want to be proactive at the same time. Also, ruler of Cancer, by the way. The one thing I do like also is the Ten of Swords has now come down to the 5 of Swords. So I feel like it's like opening your eyes more and more. Change, I don't want to say it's never easy because sometimes it is easy. But it's definitely saying change is needed. Pay attention to what you're thinking and ask yourself, like, am I telling myself the truth? Do I feel like this person is the only person, yet they're treating me like crap? Your soul knows better. But that's part of the journey. It's like our soul is connected to us, right? And like the soul, I feel like wants to have adventures, wants to, I feel like some of us came into this lifetime to really learn some hard lessons. But listen, that's so that you can have real soul expansion. And that's what we're here for. The soul doesn't want to get stuck in this pattern for too long, but it understands it at the same time. Like I needed to set myself free. Okay, let's look at the bottom of the deck. 8 of Swords, self-created prison. It's literally like your higher self is looking at your lower self or your earthly self, let's say. It's your higher being, you know, trying to get you to understand that this self-created prison, it's not going to help you in the ways that you think. Like, we create this because we may be trying to protect ourselves. And yes, there are times that we have to do that. This can be the energy of like putting up walls. But usually we put up those walls because of past people. Look at there's that raven again. Right where that raven is like whispering in your ear. I feel like the lesson through the 8 of Swords is understanding that we don't have to create walls around us. We just want to clear the energy of the past. Because it's self created, the only person that can really free you from this is you. But it's like your higher self is trying to reach you. Like, stop telling yourself that you're not worthy. Stop telling yourself that life won't get better. Be proactive. Even if it's one simple step forward might just change your whole life. 8 asking you to set yourself free. Don't buy the bullshit that some people easily hand out, especially if if they have a narcissistic tendency or are a complete narcissist. What do? They try to make you feel bad about yourself. They try to make you feel like you're not worthy. Why? Because they want to keep their hooks in you, yet they don't want to love you like you deserve. And I feel like the lesson there is just learning that I do deserve to have really great love. And I feel like the emperor is going to agree with you. You know, it's like someone wants you to be someone else than who you are. But I feel like the emperor will love you for exactly who you are. And that's why the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like, is saying, I have to come in the right time, right? I have to wait until you free yourself. You know, I don't have to be like in complete harmony for the Knight of Pentacles to come in because sometimes I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is the way out, is the way to our new beginning. Like your guardian angel understands that you've been through these towers, that you've been through some difficult energy. And just like the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Cups is also something that individually we have to decide, are we going to do that? Are we going to look back at our emotional house to just understand, you know, again, that raven like whispering lies into your ear. I can either believe it, and maybe I did believe it for a while. Maybe I believed it hook, line, and sinker. And what good did it do me? It caused me to put up these walls. Now, if you've been through some difficult experiences relating to love, it does make sense that you would need some time. But putting walls up really isn't the way. Clarity is the way. Finding yourself again, your voice, your truth. You know, here with the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Cups and the Tower and the Five of Pentacles, I feel like I've been living someone else's life. I've been living life according to their terms. But I feel like I've had enough of that. And, you know, again, I felt in the beginning, before I even started your reading, that, you know, those are in relationships. Now, I don't feel like it's with a narcissist because I feel like that, the only thing we can do there is leave. Don't try to fix them. You won't. You know, I don't feel like we're put on this earth to fix. You know, when I say fix other people, I mean it in a way of those who don't even see, like, what are you trying to fix? There's nothing wrong with me. Look how you treat me. What? What do you mean? I treat you great. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's like you want me, but then you don't want me. You put your hooks in me, but yet give me no love in return. How long do I want to stay in that? Especially when you have what I feel in the Ace of Cups is true love. And not only that, I feel like this Knight of Pentacles is also part of like activating your heart chakra again, even if you don't feel ready. You know, I don't feel like this Queen of Swords is, and I do feel like this is you, by the way, but I don't feel like she's like saying that, okay, I'm going to start looking for love. No, I feel like what she's saying is, I'm going to start living life according to my terms. I'm going to start bringing my creative self back. And I feel, lo and behold, that's when the perfect person walks into your life. And if the Nine of Swords still exists, even though that is unnecessary worry, take your time. Go on that date. See how they treat other people, but also be yourself. Because I feel like that's what someone's going to fall in love with, you. Even those broken little pieces. I feel like this emperor's going to understand that and probably has been through it themselves. I know I keep saying the emperor, and that's why I don't want you just to think of Aries because, and for some of you, it could certainly be an Aries. But I feel, and by the way, this could be the future father of your children. I feel like he's an old soul, he or she, and he's looking right over the tower, but he's like very relaxed. So I don't feel like this is his tower. I feel like it's more him understanding the towers that you've been through. I just want to look under. Well, look at this. Look at this. So, Seven of Swords under that Eight of Swords. I get it. Like, if someone's cheated on me, I don't want that energy back. I get that. If someone tells me lie after lie after lie, I certainly don't want to be with that type of person again. I get that. But what we have to learn is not everyone is like the person of the past. Another thing that's important to learn is, where is my own vibration? Have I been living life according to someone else's terms? But yet, why? Again, no judgment, just reality. This tells me that this person, they're not going to change. And you may have spent years and years trying to change someone, trying to like get them to see, you know, get them to be more loving. But I just don't feel like they're interested in that. Some people just like living in lower vibrational energy, and that's their choice. But I don't feel like you do. Again, I often feel this person is a liar. The type of liar where I'll tell you a lie to your face and they're lying, but they'll deny that, right? You can tell me I'm lying, but you're the liar. Goodbye. Like, goodbye. Don't give them the power, stopping you from living your own potential. And this is a lesson, and it's like your higher self. I do feel like your higher self's going to reach you. Another way of saying is your intuition, trusting your intuition. Is someone lying to me? If you feel that, the chances are it's true. However, if I feel like everyone's a liar because of this past person, maybe not. Probably not. This is why we have to look at our own vibration, the law of attraction. The universe is going to meet you right where you're at, knowing you deserve more, better. And again, I don't feel like this queen is like, I'm out there actively looking for love. I feel like love is just going to find her. But I feel like it's going to find her right where she's at, wherever that may be. To me, that means unexpectedly. Hmm. When you watch tarot readings, what I want you to, what I would like you to be conscious of, whether it be my readings or anyone's readings. I feel like if you watch those readings that leave out the lessons, are they really serving you? Because if I don't have these realizations, if I don't learn my own worth, and then someone says, oh, love's coming in your door. Well, yes, love does feel like it's coming in your door, but I feel like there had to be like real growth within yourself, first and foremost. And I'm not talking about being perfect. No one is perfect. We were born imperfect. All right, let's bring in the Tradivia Tarot and let's just break this baby down. So, very first card is an 8, asking you to consider a new beginning. And then it's mirrored by the Magician. Knowing your ability to manifest. And because I feel like you're going to be so intuitive in August, and not just August, but probably, I feel like once you reach that energy, once you understand that you're a spiritual being, that you can overcome, the hardships of the past, I feel like then you open up a whole new world. All right, let's give him a cut, introduce him into the reading. And we're going to start at the beginning, but we are going to read it as a whole. And what do I mean by that? I mean that I feel like when I do tarot readings, it's telling me a story. This is why I love doing readings. It's like I get to tell a story every day. Now, when I say a story, it's real life. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I get to connect to you in a very deep way. All right. So we're going to look at that Ace of Cups. I'm sorry, the Eight of Cups. And then the Ace of Cups with the King of Wands and the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, I truly feel like the majority of you have been there, done that, and are done with that. That may move you into the Nine of Swords. Some of you are still carrying that worry around. Whoa. Okay. This with the Devil. Card of Capricorn. Definitely talks about temptations, though. Could certainly have been tempted back and back and back to the same person. Why? Again, I may not know my own worth. Some of you could just simply mean Capricorn. Card went over. Look at this. Pisces, the Ace of Pentacles over the Ace of Cups. This Knight of Pentacles, who I feel is your guardian angel, is saying that I am bringing a pentacle in. And to me, a pentacle means it's something that's coming into your physical world. It's tangible, something you can touch, someone you can kiss, right? But I come at the right time. Well, it's right over the Ace of Cups now. Feels like the right time. Now, again, this is a seed, and I can nurture it. Love takes work, but it's the kind of work we want to do. The right person, it doesn't even feel like work. I feel like some of you are realizing that you've just been tempted back to like lower vibrational energy, you know, tempted back to, even if someone, it's interesting because I think about like, again, my ex-husband, and even though I knew I wanted it to end, there was still this like, I don't know, like the missing of someone, even though I knew, he wasn't good for me any longer. Really wasn't good for me at all, but did give me two children. So, I'm not going to regret that. But, I feel like that's life sometimes. And, it can talk about like during lonely moments being tempted back again. But I feel like with the realization that what I'm being tempted back to is just not serving me. The Knight of Pentacles is saying, that's what I've been waiting for. Those are the words I've been waiting for you to say. Here is the pentacle that I promised you was coming in. Right over the Ace of Cups. There couldn't be a better place for it. Hmm. By the way, that Ace of Pentacles is mirroring the Queen of Swords. And again, she's just looking out to the future. What do I want to do with my life? I don't feel like the Ten of Swords is having any effect on her now because I feel like she is really understanding that I'm the one who's manifesting my life. It is the intentions and the energy I put towards something that really is going to predict my future. If I plant no seeds, I will have no harvest. This is definitely telling me that many of you have overcome this energy, and this just feels like the right time now. Like the Knight of Pentacles is saying, this is the right time. All right, let's keep going. We have the Ten of Wands, and then we have the King of Pentacles. Interesting. The Ten of Wands, now it's making me wonder about this king a little bit. Um, but anyways, the Ten of Wands, it is a period of time of a lot of responsibility. Some of you, you may have children with this person. You may have been connected like through a business, something, but the Ten of Wands really talks about the brunt of the responsibility being put on your shoulders. I often feel like the person in the Ten of Wands is subconsciously hoping for a tower. Why? Because it's too much. It's too much. And then the King of Pentacles coming right over that Ten of Swords. Well, I hate to put down the King of Pentacles. Um, Mainly because I am an earth sign. However, being an earth sign, I know. And by the way, he is marrying the devil, which is a card of Capricorn. But the King of Pentacles can certainly be someone who holds back their emotions, their terms of endearment. It's like it just became too much. It's almost like the universe itself had to present this tower because maybe otherwise I wouldn't have moved. Maybe otherwise I wouldn't have realized that there is a new key that opens up a new door. All right, let's keep going. The moon also can talk about the moon over here, can talk about uncertainties, right? Maybe part of like making a change is like I'm fearful of, the uncertainties. Sometimes we want life laid out for us, like tell me exactly who I'm going to be in love with, what's it going to be like, and I feel like we are getting a glimpse of that. But also, you got to remember that, your vibration is a big, big part of this. your acceptance or non acceptance of someone is a big, big part of this. Hello, sun. Beautiful. I always love it when the sun shows in a reading. First of all, it is the ruler of Leo, but this is about illumination. You know, the person who's got their head down here, even though there is this big ass key right there that unlocks this big door, she's not paying attention to that. She's really focusing on the pain, the sorrow, all that. But the sun is the illuminator. The sun promises a brand new day. You know, it's like a new opportunity. The sun's also very playful and light energy. And as it relates to love, this is what I'd want to see. Because the sun will illuminate to you instead of like automatically being, let's just say, fearful of who's next in our life. Because there's always someone next. Now, listen, it can be years in between, but maybe you needed that time. But the sun really is here for you. It's helping to illuminate, first of all, that key and that new door. And it is completely different energy than, let's say, the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. This is really where I'm allowing my playful self to come out. Definitely feel like adventures within the sun. It's like your spirit guides are saying, we're going to make sure you see that key. You know, it has to be up to you whether you unlock that door. But we're going to make sure that you see that opportunity. And it's mirroring the tower. So it's really giving you clarity over those towers. Again, maybe I've just given someone much more time than they deserve. Maybe I thought I could fix them. And that's your loving heart. You know, but again, there's certain people you can't fix. And you're not even here, it's not even your job to fix them. The sun, brand new day. You know, I think of the warmth of the sun. I think of that Ace of Pentacles that needs that sun. You know, it's like the magician is pouring down the loving waters on the Ace of Cups. And now, and which I feel like is tied back to that Ace of Cups, but also the sun. So everything that that seed needs through the Ace of Pentacles to really be successful, to really blossom. Your guides know what you're going through, but they also know how capable you are. They also know what you deserve, but they can't interrupt your free will. They can certainly make things feel uncomfortable, but that's only to, in a way, I feel like save you. Hello, Destiny. Underneath these aces, not just the Ace of Cups, but also the Ace of Pentacles. You know, that person in Ten of Swords, sure, they could have been part of your destiny, but if they were, it was to teach you a lesson, you know, and that lesson, I mean, it can be many different lessons. For some of those lessons, we're just learning your own self worth, not buying what they're selling. You know, when I see the wheel, I think of movement, but this is moving you to something that's really meant to be. And this might be the time, especially with the sun right below it or right beside it. It's like the queen is saying, I'm not going to put any stipulations on what needs to be next, but I already know that, I know what I don't want. And that's an important lesson to learn, what I don't want. And maybe one of the lessons is I had to learn that, just because someone didn't love me right doesn't mean the next one won't. Hello, Knight of Cups. No wonder I was feeling so good about this Emperor. This is an unexpected couple fulfillment. You know, it is totally relating back to that Ace of Cups. And where I said this queen is not even putting stipulations on, like, I need love in my life. I need that. Like, she's just, no. She feels chilled out, right? Like, she's found her own truth. She's living life according to her terms. And that means her vibration has lifted. And I felt like that the Emperor had also been through similar experiences. In the Three of Pentacles, I feel like someone may have already been admiring you from afar. Now, when I say afar, it doesn't have to mean like from a different country. It could be someone in my own neighborhood. Again, some of you could be taking a class, doing something that feels good to you. It reminds me of the person who is like going to start a soap business. And I'm sorry, I keep using you as an example. But I'm kind of feeling that. Like I'm doing my own thing. And then lo and behold, here comes this cup. It's almost like I can't really plan for it because it is unexpected. But what I can do is think about where am I at? Where's my own vibration at? What energy have I cut out of my life? No longer willing to accept. And I feel like you do want to learn that not all people are like whoever is in that Ten of Swords energy. Another reason to think about your own vibration. Can't really plan for this. As soon as I said that, I thought, well, in a way we can. Because again, if like I cut the ties, even if I'm uncertain about what's next, but I'm kind of putting it in divine's hands, well, divine knows that. I come at the right time. Ace of Cups, unconditional love. Ace of Pentacles, that seed can really blossom. It does take the sun. It does take your energy. I feel like you may be manifesting this and not even know it. I knew I felt good about this Emperor. And by the way, this Knight of Cups is sitting right next to your destiny. And, it gives me a sense of comfort knowing that also the sun is there behind it. So I feel like it helps to illuminate to you, is this person going to be someone who, I can be myself with? The answer is yes. For some of you, this could be someone who is just waiting for you to free yourself. And then you do. And it's like they may say to themselves, well, it's my turn. That doesn't sound right. I feel more like they're trusting in their own intuition and they're going to take a chance. They don't know if you're going to accept it or not, but they're still going to take that chance. It may start as a simple date, but I feel like the energy um will be very clear. Queen of Swords over that tower. Look, she's got her sword raised over the tower. It's like she is saying to that person of the past, you no longer hold power over me. I know who I am. I know what I'm worth. I cannot live in a life of lies. I want someone who has integrity. I myself have integrity. So I expect that back. It may have taken this queen some time, but here she is. And again, I feel like you are this queen, male or female. Doesn't even matter you have air in your charts. It's just not how I read. Okay. Eight of Cups over the Magician. Interesting because the Magician is mirroring the Eight of Cups. So this could be, you may find someone who, again, has similar experiences to you. They themselves may have had to find this emotional clarity, but I feel like they did. They themselves had to say, like, I am ready for a new beginning. And so it is. The sun is right above it. It's coming over the magician. It is a sense of power. It is like you're saying, I'm just not going to let the past again determine what my future is going to look like. The moon. First of all, I want you to look at the synchronicities in this reading. So to me, that means that this is about like minded energy. I don't feel like this queen, again, this can talk about uncertainties, but it can also be very dreamy type energy. And I love it when you're in your dreamy energy. And I have a feeling so with this emperor. But I don't feel like this queen's putting any restrictions on what's next. You know why? Because I feel like because my vibration is so much stronger. I am so much stronger. Coming right under the wheel. And by the way, again, your major arcana that is now mirroring that Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups with the wheel, destiny right in between. Some of you may start this new path, like this new adventure, like of a creative nature. And you just may find that you find real freedom within that. Like you're opening up your creative self, and you may find like it's something that you're never going to stop doing now. I feel like the right people will just be put in place for you. When I say soulmate energy, which I definitely feel like this is definitely talking about as it relates to love, a soulmate. But I also feel like, we have many different soulmates. Some soulmates just come in for a moment, and sometimes it's just to help us to like, we were starting to take a left and really divine wants us to take a right. So they just come in some way, somehow get us to take that right. It puts us on the right path. Not that I feel like there's a wrong path, because I feel like every path has some type of adventure and maybe some type of a lesson. But I feel like, listen, when you've overcome this lesson, it just feels like life just gets so much easier. Well, hello, Two of Cups. So I was calling them the soulmates. Now we know that. Coming over the Three of Pentacles. I love that. Because again, this is someone who, you won't have to wear a mask. You won't have to pretend that you're someone that you're not. This is about two people who will see each other for exactly who they are and love each other for exactly who they are. Again, Three of Pentacles is about your individuality. Soulmate. Right under the Knight of Cups. I mean, I feel like that should take a lot of fear away. We have the Eight of Swords coming over that Knight of Pentacles. Well, we have the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the chart. So I feel like it's like your guardian angel was saying, this, when I come in the right time, it's when you set yourself free. It's when you put those walls down so that when I bring these pentacles in, you're going to enjoy them. You're not going to fear them. Interesting that we have two eights mirroring each other. To me, eights are about a new beginning, but I do have to allow it at the same time. What came with that? The Two of Pentacles. Okay. Well, to me, the Two of Pentacles it's a question, you know. But I feel like it's me looking at this Knight of Cups, an unexpected cup of fulfillment, and it is fulfillment. And we know, I mean, it's connected right to the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. But I feel like the ball will always be put in your court, right? I can say yes, I can say no. Two of Pentacles, many people explain that like as the juggler's card, but I really feel it's about using one's logical mind. It feels like this is energy that may happen very quickly after you free yourself. And some of you may have already, like, been there, done that with someone of a repeat pattern, but maybe you haven't cleared that energy yet. Maybe for whatever reason, well, I know the reason, I mean, I get it. Like, I don't want to go backwards. There's nothing here that tells me that this is talking about anything taking you backwards. Quite the opposite. But the ball's put in your court. And it makes sense that it would come over the Eight of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles, right? Because, again, if I brought this pentacle in when you're in this self created prison, will you see it for what it truly is? And I feel like your guardian angel saying, it's not something you automatically have to say yes to. Take your time. Use your logical mind. All right. I feel like I want to look at a few things before we move on. I mean, first of all, can I just say, I feel like the reading opened up in somewhat of a heavy type energy, but I also feel like it's like clarity over that heaviness. Again, it's like someone made you feel like not worthy. Someone lied. And no matter what you do and what you said, and even if I catch them in the lie, they won't admit it. So I had to find my own power, my own way out. Even though your guardian angel, your spirit guides, they understand what you're going through. Definitely feels like this knight who comes at the right time, again, is pointing out the difference of coming to you when you're in this self created prison or coming to you when you're free of it. I have a feeling some of you are just going to fall in love. Like, I don't know how you won't be able to fall in love with this person. Because again, I feel like if I'm telling this person like about some of the difficult experiences I've had, they're not going to judge me. Matter of fact, they're going to understand me. And some of them have been through the same things you've been through. Doesn't mean the exact situation, but very similar. And I definitely feel like the emperor is someone who has overcome. And that's why the emperor is someone who really does care about their fellow man, right? Like very empathetic. The Knight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, which is your illuminator. It's illuminating the Ace of Pentacles, which means that this is literally coming into your physical world. The Knight of Cups means the same thing, right? I come into your life, probably when you least expect me to, probably when you're busy doing your thing, allowing that creative nature within you to come back out again. And in a way, like the law of attraction, even if I'm not saying it to the universe, like I'm ready for love, the universe or divine knows that you are. It knows that you'll take that seed and you will nurture it. Doesn't mean that, again, you move quickly. Take all the time you need. Go on as many dates as you need. Talk on the phone. I do feel like there'll be long conversations, in depth conversations. I feel like this is someone who's going to be a very good listener and will allow you to like explain what you've been through and why. Let's just say, like, you may say to them, like, I'm not sure that I'm ready for a relationship. I feel like they would be like, I understand. But in the same breath, I don't feel like that means they go away. Quite the opposite. And I feel like, you are going to say to yourself, this does feel different. This does feel like love. The divine's putting the ball in your court. I'm going to give you what I promised, but then I leave it up to you. But the sun illuminates it for you. This feels like it's going to be very playful. You know what I mean? Like we're going to be very playful together, but also serious because I feel like we're going to have long talks. You know, I feel like this person's going to help me work out those final little pieces that have been following me around. And maybe I do the same for them. You know, after the fact, everything just looks so beautiful. After the fact. Okay. I'm not even sure what I want to clarify. Um, I feel like the sun is making this very clear. This Ace of Cups, we now know is a soulmate, but I felt that. We now know this Knight of Cups is about unexpected. Like, I can't really plan for it, though I can think about my own vibration. Some of you, again, you may not even be looking for love, but love is going to find you. All right, I'm just going to go right across the middle of the table. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So let's talk about the Queen first of all. First of all, we do have the King of Pentacles, who's coming over that Ten of Swords. And again, I feel like you're all people unless we feel it otherwise. I don't feel like you're the King of Pentacles. I don't feel like you're the devil. But I do feel like you are the queens. And I do feel like the Emperor, I don't feel like it's Aries, though. I'm not going to leave that off the table because some of you, it may be in Aries. What am I holding? The Queen of Pentacles. This Queen of Pentacles can definitely relate back to that King of Pentacles. But let me tell you what the Queen's specialty is. Reading between the lines, especially with the sun right there. Like reading between the lines. I feel like once I've learned certain lessons, if for whatever the reason I find someone comes in my life and they are a liar, I'll know it immediately. All right, let's keep going. Let's see if anything else wants to come out. I don't want to over clarify because I feel like it is like definitely giving us the roadmap. But let's see if anything else wants to come out. Look at this, the Nine of Cups. Well, that's where the person in the Eight of Cups is heading. And by the way, two Eights of Cups, two people who, I would say are single. This is really where I'm learning to love life again. Doesn't mean all things are perfect, but I'm finding inner harmony. That is the magic of the Nine of Cups, inner harmony. That's what someone took from you, but you're reclaiming it. It's a nine, so I do feel like singular. Now, it doesn't mean, let's say, you're still somehow caught in this web. Doesn't mean that this Knight of Cups does, waits until you're single. It may not. But having inner harmony, I feel like is a big part of it. But let's also remember that the Nine of Cups is about a fulfillment of a wish. I mean, are there wishes being fulfilled here? Oh, yeah. And then, hello, Chariot. Beautiful. First of all, card of Cancer. But the Chariot. You really want to learn what the Chariot means in a reading. Because, we can just say it's unlimited potential, which it is. But what we want to remember about the Chariot is it is our intentions. It's the intentions that we're putting out there is what moves the Chariot. If I'm putting negative intentions out there, well, it's like a car coming to you with four flat tires. Where's it going to go? How long can you drive on four flat tires? Tires. But when I'm putting positive intentions out there, well, it's just unlimited. Unlimited potential. And I have to say potential because free will is also part of this. But let's not forget the sun is here to help illuminate, everything and anything that you need illumination in. And this person who's asking me out doesn't have potential. It does. It does. Unlimited. Right next to the Nine of Cups. Fulfillment of a wish. Coming over the Knight or the Knight of Cups. Unexpected cup of fulfillment. To me, that relates right back to the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So not only is this talking about love, But this is talking about love that is physically coming into your world, ready or not. Again, do you have to accept it? Of course you don't. Now, I feel like the only reason why I would not accept it, or at least give it a chance, means that there's still energy of the past that hasn't been cleared. So I tell this person, well, let's take our time. I don't know if I'm ready for love. They'll get it. They'll understand. And that doesn't take away the potential. That's just being honest and truthful. It's like saying to this person who is a soulmate, I dealt with a narcissist in the past. And in the beginning, this person was all charming, and I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I feel like the emperor would say to you, well, what a fool that person was. What a fool they were. Because look what they lost. And look what I've gained. True. I feel it, Pisces. I feel it. Just like all my readings, I feel like they are roadmaps to help you get to your ultimate destination. But yes, there's work that needs to be done, realizations that need to be had, but everything seems to be now falling in your favor. If I keep getting tempted back to someone who's treating me like shit, yes, it is them who's shitty, but it is me who's allowing it. And I can be allowing it for many different reasons, but I feel like the main reason would be the fear of change. I don't know what lies out there. What's next? Don't even worry about that. Just reclaim your power. And it's like, let divine do the rest. Feel like it's coming in. It's just coming in. And the ball is put in your court. But I feel like the Knight of Pentacles, again, who comes at the right time, it's definitely pointing out to us that if you're in that self-created prison, that's not the right time. Because I already know that you would say no. Even if you may want to say yes, you may not understand like how I can end this. And I feel like that has to come from within. Like I've got to know my own, I got to know that I deserve better. And it may take time, but there is no one here judging you, right? Whatever time is needed. But the more you can try to look forward instead of back, I feel like the more natural things start entering your life, people start entering your life. You may not know that love can be this good. I didn't know love could be this good until I met, I met Sam when I was when I was a teenager. We didn't reconnect until I was in my 50s. And I didn't know love could be this good. But it is. Doesn't mean it's issue free. We fight just like anybody, right? But we always come back, apologize, understand where it's coming from, but that's life. I have a feeling you just don't know how good it can be until you do. Until you do. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, but let's take Mother Mary over your reading. Pisces, I feel, besides what you've been through, the potential of your future just feels so beautiful to me. It just feels so meant to be. Sometimes we do get in our own way, but then we learn. Like, please remember that you are a spiritual being first and foremost, having human experiences. Like, Earth is your classroom. Some of the lessons can be very difficult. I know that. Look at this. Be strong. Be strong. I pull myself up and do what needs to be done. Well, I feel like that's relating to the top line with the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and that Seven of Swords. Pull myself up and do what needs to be done. It means that you are reclaiming your own power first and foremost. It means you have that power. You know, some of you could be like a single mother or a single father, and maybe you have kids, and which would be a single mother, a single father. Um, and maybe you fear, like, you know, will whoever I fall in love with, will they love my children? The answer is yes. And that may be why I read the Emperor for some of you as the future father. Doesn't have to be like that you're having a child with them. But if you have children, they're going to love your children as their own. Mother, look at that. Mother coming over the Emperor. I open my heart to my mother's humanness and her divinity. Some of you may have found that you're living the path of your mother's life. You know what I mean? Like going through similar experiences that your mother has gone through. And maybe at one time, like you look down upon your mother for certain actions that she's taken. But then as you move along in life, you maybe become a mother yourself. It's like you start to understand. You know, and it's also remembering that our mother, our father, they're human, right? They're going to make mistakes. We make mistakes. I know I've made mistakes. Some of you, I feel like it's putting a mother and a father together. Again, whether they are someone's biological kids or someone who's just going to love the children I have as their own. Okay, well, a lot came out, but I'm not going to turn them down. Watched over. I feel like this is such a beautiful message for you because I definitely feel you're being watched over and guided. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life knowing that heaven is watching over me and my loved ones. Watched over. The Knight of Pentacles is doing. Caring. Empathy. Heaven cares for me, and I keep my heart open to caring about myself, others, and the world. I feel like that's the Emperor's natural energy. And I do feel like that's your natural energy. Like, don't stop caring because of someone who didn't know how to care. Joy. Beautiful. Joy. Joy to the world. By enjoying this moment, I'm giving thanks to God for my life. By enjoying this moment. And I feel like that's exactly what the Queen of Swords is doing. She's living in the present moment. And in that present moment, She's finding joy, honesty. Totally makes sense. Because I feel like that's first and foremost. I need to be honest with myself. I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. Both of the past, like, if I know someone is not good for me, then I know that. If I know what's coming in next might be good for me, listen, trust your intuition and try not to second guess it. It is saying joy. You're being watched over. You're being guided. And there's energy that's being guided right to you. Look at this enthusiasm, kind of like the energy of joy. It's a different way of looking at life. I don't feel like you were enthusiastic back here, but now I do. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. That may be some of your questions, maybe answering a question like, Sandy, which direction do I go? Whatever you feel passionate about. I kind of felt that in the Three of Pentacles, like you may find yourself again, like starting a new adventure, doing something that feels very true to you, right? Something you feel passionate about. And I feel like just through that energy alone, it's like you're opening everything else up for you. Beautiful. Be strong. Forgive your mother if you need to. But some of you, I definitely feel this could talk about like a mother and father type energy. Know that you're being watched over. And that also means don't be afraid to ask for signs. Like if you're having a hard time trusting your intuition, ask your guides, please send me the signs again. Make them so I can't ignore them. Then trust them. Caring. Don't shut yourself down due to past energy. They're the ones who don't have caring souls. That's not you. Joy. Enjoy the present moment. Enjoy the excitement of these new adventures. Be very honest with yourself and be enthusiastic about your future. You're creating it right now through your intentions. Why not create the best life you can? And let go of control of exactly what it must look like and allow yourself to be surprised. When I think of my life and where I'm at right now, it was completely unexpected. Same with me doing tarot. I really, one of these days, I'm just going to make a video and tell you my story because, it's interesting. In someone else's reading, it made me realize that certain things that happened in my life is what brought me right to what I am doing now. And if things would have been different, I probably wouldn't be doing this. But this is what I love. Like, I have so much love for it. I love connecting to you. I love that divine trusts me to bring you these messages. And yes, not all the messages are easy messages, but I feel like if I only gave you like simple little messages of, oh, love is going to happen, I'm not being real with you. And real is what I need to be. And I'm going to let that be. I thank you guys. I love you guys. And my prayer for you is that this divine energy find you and that you allow yourself to at least step into it. Because I feel like once you step into it, especially with the sun here, you're just going to know. You're just going to know. You know, this was really a love reading. Um, And I didn't really try to make it a love reading. It's just the way it wanted to come out. Even though I do feel like in the Three of Pentacles, some of you, it's like you're finding this new path that's opening up to you, but it feels something that just feels right to you at the same time. You know, you may not have all the answers yet, but I also like the, I'm seeing the Two of Cups peeking out there, soulmate energy. You know, it reminds me of like a story I tell often, like where, you know, I go to work every day, or this used to be my life, where I go to work every day and I always stop to Dunkin' Donuts to get like coffee. And then one day, now this didn't happen to me, but the way my life, the way this the love I'm in now happened was really unexpected. It was through a phone call. But what I'm saying is like your intuition is like, oh no, go over to Starbucks today. Like, and maybe normally I don't go that direction because I don't want to cross over the highway, but yet something tells me to do it. And so I do. And lo and behold, who's in that line with me? The Emperor. And a conversation begins, and the rest will follow. I love you guys. I thank you. I always love doing your reading. I hope the majority of you stuck around to the end. Because if I feel like if you don't stick around to the end, you may not really understand what this is trying to say to you. But you know, that's up to each person. So I appreciate those who do stick around to the end. Um, Even though they are long, I feel like just get comfortable. You know what I mean? Grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and just get comfortable and let the messages reach you. All right, Pisces, I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.